Hey family, welcome back. Thank you so much for visiting. I have done a couple of these videos already, but I'm going to do it again because I have so many videos posted that it is hard for people to find them. Today's video is going to be on the attacks that the witch sent us. This is a warning for those who have never really experienced supernatural things, supernatural attacks, spiritual warfare. I want you to watch this with caution because it can be a little scary for others. I want you to know that when God has a message for you, He will talk to you in your dream. That's the only time when God has our undivided attention, because we are busy all day with our phones and work and kids and sleeping and eating and doing things that God does appear in our dreams. So God gave me 5 very specific dreams. He even gave me a dream in 2022 to warn me about what was coming in 2023. I was ignorant. And I did not ask my husband, is there somebody at work? Is there something going on? Should I be worried? By this time, she had already started giving him food and sending him things through her friends at work. She was already laying claim to her territory, right? She had already been stalking us for 2 years. And I didn't do anything. And in the dream, there was a pair of bright red shoes. Those pointy red shoes was symbolic that she had done a blood ritual. She had put blood in her food to give to my husband. And that's why my husband went into a crazy spell. He completely changed. His face changed, his eyes changed, and he had a smell about him. Those are attacks that you need to look for, okay? If your spouses, their face starts changing, and if they smell, there's a stench that you cannot get rid of. And that was because the demons and spirits in her and the spells that she put in the food, it entered to my husband. I have a video on that very specific dream in 2022, a whole year before all this happened. So please look for that. If you want to see that video, let me know and I can find that and link that for you. Some of the attacks that she sent, we lived in a 2-story townhouse. So our bedroom was on the 2nd floor and there's no way to get to the window. We always had knocks on our windows, okay? Always had knocks on our windows, and it always came in threes. And it was usually between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. and those are the witching hours. In the satanic world, the witching hours are 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. So that's when the Satanists are awake, the witches are awake, and that's when they do their chants, their hexing, their vexing, and their curses. While we Christians are sleeping, they are up praying as well. So if God wakes you up, you need to not be ignorant and you need to pray. And I need you to say, whatever has been spoken over us while we were sleeping, whatever curses, whatever hexes or vexes, whatever witchcraft, spells, or incantations spoken over us, any plots, plans, and agendas from the devil that was formed against us while we were sleeping, we counsel them. I counsel them right now in Jesus' mighty name. I null and void them right now in Jesus' mighty name. I bind it, strip it of its power, and I cast it to the abyss, never to return right now in Jesus' mighty name. So that's what you need to say. Don't just wake up, go pee, and go back to sleep. You need to war for your family. Another one of the attacks that we got was it's a 2-story townhouse. So there was always footsteps walking up the walls of our house, walking up and down. Now they could not enter our home because I protected our home. Okay, even though my husband was lost, I still covered him. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 10 to 14. And there says the faith of the believing spouse covers the non-believer. So I had to up my faith and my obedience to cover my husband. And it also says it will cover and sanctify the children. I wasn't as strong. I had some knowledge by this time, but I still wasn't as strong as obviously I am now, right? And so that's why these knocks on our windows were happening, and the walking up and down our wall, the wall, outside walls of our house was happening. They couldn't come in. I anointed every few weeks. I anointed every door, every window, okay, with holy oil, and I prayed to bless our house so that nothing evil can come in. One night in particular, my husband was home, okay, and he's still lost, still under a spell. And he was home with us, and I was up, and I had heard a huge knock on our window, okay? We're on the second floor. My son let out the biggest scream that I've ever heard, the most terrifying scream I've ever heard from him. He was sleeping in his room, and so I go run to him immediately. He screamed as if he saw a monster, okay? I turn on the lights, and my son was having a full-blown seizure. Remember that when you are living in sin, your children do pay for it. And when you are living in sin and willful sin, that's a door that stays open for the devil to come in. So as much as I covered my children and covered my husband, and I wasn't as strong at that particular moment, that's why that seizure was able to hit my son, land on my son. So we called the ambulance, and I'm holding my son, and I'm praying over him, and I'm asking God to stop the seizure. And it's about maybe not even 10 seconds, the seizure stopped. So I thank God for that. My husband runs outside to go wait for the EMTs, and there's a white owl right outside of our door. Witches send death, curses, spells, witchcraft through owls and through crows, okay? And so he was on the phone with her right after that, and she said she was up, she was coming back from somewhere. She said, oh, I just had to pull over and I had to go do a prayer. So I knew that it came from her. The 9 months that this battle took, my daughter was 1.5 when it began, and she was mute for most of it. She could not speak. And I didn't know, right? So when God finally restored us and we came back together as a family, one day the Holy Spirit says, I need you to pray over your daughter. There's a spirit on her tongue. That's why she cannot speak, and I need you to cast it off. And the Spirit told me that she had cast that spell or that spirit, that mute spirit, on my daughter so that she could not call me mommy. She was super jealous of us. She had been stalking us for 2 years prior to even doing what she was doing in at the end of 2022. And so she really wanted my husband and my daughter. And so she did not want my daughter to call me mom. So, of course, whenever the Holy Spirit tells you to do something, you need to do it, okay? So we took holy oil. We anointed our daughter, and then we prayed. We both prayed over her, and we casted that spirit, that mute spirit, off of her tongue and to release her tongue. And guess what? Immediately, my daughter started to speak very clear. And she's a little over 2 years old at this time now. Started when she was 1.5, and so a little over 2 years old when this happened. And now she speaks so clearly. There's no speech impediment. There's no speech delays. And it's because we were obedient and we casted that mute spirit off of our daughter's tongue. If you ever feel a presence, something heavy on you, it does not mean that you are weak and you're not prayed up. That's actually God showing you that there is something trying to come near you, or someone is chanting, and for you to cancel it. You know, that spirit that was in this witch could be in anybody who wants to tear up families, anybody who wants to have an affair. They carry that same spirit in them. I hugged one of my cousins, and she has a crush on my husband. And this is the first time this ever happened to me. Once I hugged her, the moment she left, I started to sweat profusely and could not stop shaking. And it took my mentor to pray over me for it to stop. God wanted me to know that she was not good and that she had evil intentions for my husband. So if you come under attack and you're sweating profusely, that is pure evil. And you need to break it, and you need to cancel whatever that was, whatever spirit that was, and cancel the curse that came with that. Stay vigilant, you guys, and stay prayed up. Until next time, God bless.